The long wait is over, the summer is gone, the best leagues in the land are back.
It's time to raise the game. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful day of rugby. Welcome to the Welsh capital, to Cardiff Arms Park for a Christmas clash. We absolutely love it. Welcome everyone. We are bringing down the curtain on 2024 and we're bringing it down in style. We've had part one of the double header. Cardiff Met took the first leg 50-0 over Cardiff University. If it is the same score in the second game, then this man will be absolutely buzzing. Not only have we got one special Joe, we've got two special Joes. Burnsy's with us, of course, and a BUCS Super Rugby live stream debut for Joe Cowell. Hello.
Hello, how are you? You okay?
Yeah, very, very well, mate. Great to have your company for this one. You're a legend to this fixture. Former Cardiff Met club captain. In fact, the only Cardiff Met club captain to lose a Cardiff Clash. I thought I'd bring that up early. And Burnsy, you're on security for this one, because if he comes to me,
I'm dead. Just a big tight head in the room. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But you've achieved a lot in rugby. Wales age group caps. You're now in the professional game with Cardiff. But this is special. This means something to people, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's massive. I think when you come to university, especially in Wales, Cardiff or Cardiff Met, it's a day in the calendar that you always sort of highlight, especially for the boys playing now as well. It's one of those that you always look forward to, and I think having it sort of the last game before Christmas as well sort of rounds it off, and yeah, I'm sure the boys are absolutely buzzing for this time.
They're not the only ones that are buzzing. Burnsy, you've been wearing it at a high frequency all day.
Mate, nothing beats the Cardiff Clash, or that's going to be contentious amongst the other big fixtures. But I think it's one of the originals, is it? One of the original big fixtures. You know, you got 5,000 people. It kind of captures the Welsh rugby public's imagination a bit as well. And we have been treated to some thrillers, to some Christmas crackers.
We absolutely have. More and more people are talking about this fixture in the Welsh rugby landscape. They're also talking about that group of people that are over your shoulder. They're in their Christmas jumpers. They're known as the Ultras. Look, we've got some amazing supporters groups in BUCS Super Rugby up and down the country. But what are this lot really like?
Oh, they're absolutely mental, to be honest. Yeah, I know a few of them have been out since about 10, 11 o'clock this morning. So again, like for them, it's one of the biggest days of the year. But any Wednesday at home or away, they try their best to get there, and they always bring the noise. So yeah, expect a lot of volume tonight from those behind me.
Burnsy had a chat to guards. We're about to hear it, but you've had a catch up with him today. He's not your coach anymore, so you can give us the real truth. Tell us a little bit of something about Ian Gardner.
He's a brilliant coach. You know, he's obviously Dr. Ian Gardner now, isn't he? So in sports and rugby specifically. So yeah, he knows a lot about the game, and yeah, he's a great person to have in a coaching staff.
Straight out of the multimedia playbook, that was. He didn't throw him under the bus, but we're about to put the mics quiet. Whatever he tells us, I'll tell you after. Burnsy was out and about earlier, and this is what guards had to say when they had a chat.
Guards, I mean, you've been to plenty of Cardiff clashes. You know exactly what this occasion, what this game brings. Does the excitement ever get any less for you? Any less for the club?
No, absolutely not. It's funny enough, we were just speaking about this in the chat before we come out here, saying these games are always special. You know, you're playing with some of the best friends you'll ever, you know, they'll be friends for life. And you know, it's such a great occasion. Your friends, your family are all here, and you know, this will be the pinnacle of some of the boys' careers. Not all of them, but you know, there's 3,000-4,000 people here tonight watching this, and it's always a special occasion.
I think it would be fair to say that you come in here as favourites today against Cardiff. With that 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 who are here, with that favourites tag, how do you manage that sort of pressure on your young charges?
You know, it's a cliche, really, isn't it? But it's about you, it's about your performance, and it's obvious that sort of you're always going to say that. There is a complete element of truth in that. That you know, we can only play to our strengths and be the best versions of ourselves. But that's notwithstanding, you've commented on enough of these and seen enough of these games that we've gone in favourites to probably a lot of the matches, and certainly this time last year. We were really fortunate to come away with a win, and there's a bit of brilliance from Rory Morgan at the end of the game, which saved our bacon. So we know the difficulty, we know how challenging these games are, and you know, lots of boys have played in them previously, and yeah, it's never an easy game.
Never straightforward. We'll come to your opposition in a moment. I'd like to talk about some of the other matches that you haven't come away with a win so far against Loughborough, Bath, Hartbury, and then obviously that draw with Exeter last week. You're there or thereabouts with those teams ahead of you. Do you feel that you're close to like breaking that threshold and sort of reaching a higher level in your game?
Yeah, they're quality teams. Like Exeter last week were full bore. The pack had played, most of them were playing last year. They're back row, Driscoll, Forsyth, Durrell, they're fabulous players. And, we matched them physically, and I think that's the first thing you have to do against Exeter. Bath probably were the team that we didn't manage physically, and they were comfortable winners against us, and probably left for it towards the end. We're certainly working hard at that, and I think it was a big step forward for a sort of physical point of view last week against Exeter, but we've got to back it up now this week, and obviously Bath in the new year. So it's you're always looking to grow and improve.
So we could start with a statement win here at the Arms Park against Cardiff. What do you got to do well? What do you got to do to beat Cardiff?
You've got to be accurate. It's as simple as that. You've got to look at it in possession. You've got to sort of look after the ball. You've got to be, speed into position. You've got to outwork and out-physically perform opponents. Rugby's a simple game from that point of view. If you're physically on it, if you work hard in your opposition, the vast majority of the time you're going to win those games, and it's really important that we do that tonight. And we worked hard all week. The boys are obviously excited, but we also know Cardiff are in the same position.
We're excited to see your boys in action as well. Go well, Guards.
Thanks.
Dr. Ian Gardner there. Always great to hear from him ahead of the big occasion. Bernsey, let's talk about the history of this big occasion, because you were here at the very first clash. Of course, Cardiff Met were coming off the back of losing a final. Cardiff University got themselves promoted, and we first brought this amazing fixture to this amazing ground.
Yeah, I was up in commentary with another former Cardiff Met captain, Alid Evans, up on co-coms, and Eduardo Balocco, the Italian stallion, galloped into the corner for a famous try. And I think it's only grown since then. And you talk about history, we got the item that everybody is chasing after. I'm looking at some famous Welsh names here.
Aberystwyth are on there.
Cardiff in 1952. I think Ian Gardner was, I think he was a young man then. So, it dates back centuries and centuries, just like some of the coaches in this league.
Let's talk about Cardiff then, because they always seem to raise their game for this every time Cardiff Met come in as favourites. But what do you think it is about this fixture that brings the best out of your cross-city rivals?
I just think, like you just said it there, obviously it's a rival. It's about who can become the kings of the city, and I think anytime you play in a rival, you always want to kind of do one up on the opposition team. So they always end up doing well at Christmas. Obviously, Met had a good win in the first game in October, but the thing is with Cardiff Clash, you just never know what's going to happen, and I think they're going to go in, as much as Cardiff Met are going to go in as favourites, can never write off Cardiff Uni either.
Right, you boys need to go, because you need to get up to commentary. He's got to kiss some babies, sign some autographs, or whatever you have to do as a former Cardiff Met captain. It wasn't just Dr. Ian Gardner we heard from. Bernsey caught up with Swank earlier on, and this is what he had to say.
Swank, here we are, the Arms Park again, another clash on the horizon. I mean, does it get any better than this for your lads, getting to run out this historic stadium against their arch city rivals?
Yeah, as we say every year for the freshers or recruits coming into Cardiff University, that they get 3 bespoke games a year for a Cardiff University student. That's 2 Cardiff Clashes and a Welsh varsity. So yeah, BUCS Super Rugby, Cardiff Met twice. Yeah, it's pretty unreal in front of 5,000, 6,000 peers. It's pretty special for them, yeah.
Do you feel when it comes to the clash that almost sort of form is a little bit irrelevant because you're tapping into that extra emotional reserve, both sides?
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I think form can help in terms of confidence-wise, but yeah, I totally agree with you. I think anything can happen on a Cardiff Clash night, and the occasion itself and the rivalry, as you mentioned, yeah, anything can happen.
But look, let's talk about the season, because you're currently sat in 10th position, and you look at the table, doesn't look too great. However, that's only really surface level, because you have been putting in strong performances in games, but just haven't quite been able to engineer the W's.
Yeah, it's obviously clearly disappointing to be in 10th position at this time of the season, but we've got a massive second half of the season to come. And you're right, it's we feel for the players, especially because they're putting in bags of effort every single game, and I've never known a Cardiff University team that haven't gone out onto the field and really worked hard and put the effort in. we're just losing out on certain key areas of the game, and we know what we've got to put right, and we're trying hard to put it right, and we just need to get a good win. Just focus on what we do well, and we're doing that each week. But a win would be nice right now.
What are those key areas that you really want to see your boys nail this evening? You feel is going to yield that win?
I think first and foremost, the line-out hasn't been functioning particularly well all season, so if we can just kind of like simplify that a little bit and just narrow that down and make sure we get good successes from that, we're probably then able to launch our attack a little bit better, and then just managing the game a little bit more. I think when we come against English teams in particular, they come into this power game, and we struggle in that middle third, and then when we give the middle third away and we end up in our 22, we're camped there for a long time, and often than not, teams come away with points. And Cardiff Met are no different. They've got a good power game, and we're trying to avoid giving teams opportunities for entries into our 22.
You mentioned Cardiff, mate. You mentioned their power game. What are the other elements you've got to get right, particularly against them? Where do you see the threats that you want to be snuffing out that Cardiff Met offer?
Yeah, as I said, I think defensively they're pretty sound. So I think we've got to move them around a little bit more, tire them out a little bit if we can. Not necessarily play multi-phase, but just move them around, try and get outside that fifth defender if we can. And as you mentioned, trying to avoid their entries into the 22. So putting those two together is a good start, and as I said, winning more line-out ball will be even better start.
And away from the technicalities, you want to be silencing the opposition fans as well. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere.
It will be. This is Cardiff Met's home game, so obviously they're stand side behind me here, so they're going to be noisy. They're a good bunch to have in a Cardiff Clash. So I'm sure that only works in our favour too. I think our boys do like to be the underdogs, and they do like to hear that crowd. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be bouncing for it.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out there.
Cheers,
Go well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chris Davis, all smiles ahead of this one. A recent fixture that's building its own history, but history it has built, whether it's over in that far corner and Ed Dunford curving one in off the post to win the first Cardiff Clash for the University, or in the opposite corner, Eduardo Boloco. It's Di Jones going in for 2 tries here, or it's Luke Northmore scoring, or maybe not scoring, depending on which side of the city you're on. We're counting down to kick-off. Will it be the Lords of Llanrumney or the Kings of King Coed who are the winners? Who are the Kings of the City going into 2025? Stick with us to find out. Stick with us this season too, because all roads lead to Rodney Parade. Somebody is going to be leaving with this glorious trophy at the end of an incredible season.
Take these beautiful things that I've got. Things that I've got. These beautiful things that I've got. Things that I've got. These beautiful things that I've got.
Dave on parade, pitch side there for our opener, and all roads leading to Rodney. The first time the BUCS Super Rugby final will be held this side of the Severn Bridge, and rather fittingly we're able to announce it at one of the most iconic venues in Welsh rugby. Each blade of grass, synthetic as it may be, is laced with a rich history of the Welsh Wizards of a rugby age gone by. But new pages are being written every season from these two great university rugby institutions. Cardiff Met hosting Cardiff University in this Crunch Christmas clash. Well, this is how it went down last week, and as you can see there, Cardiff looking to bounce back after a bit of a tricky afternoon at the STV. Bath are really the team to beat at the moment, whilst Cardiff Met a very admirable 29-all draw at Tottenham away to Exeter. That's how the table stood at the start of today. Obviously, a few results have gone down throughout the day, but this is the complexion. Cardiff Met with an opportunity to press into the top 4 after Exeter earlier were defeated by Hartbury at Tottenham. So a great incentive for the Met men, whilst for Cardiff they can leapfrog all the way up to 8th and lift themselves from the bottom. That's how it's gone down today. Nervy victory for Durham. Nottingham led for much of that match, but eventually the Northeasterners emerging with the win, and that's a big one right there. Leeds Beckett 24-12 victors over Swansea. Bath and Loughborough, that is a mouth-watering top of the table tussle, but all eyes here in the capital for Cardiff Met versus Cardiff. Right, let's feast our eyes on Ian Gardner's team. And we're going to get to that in a second, because as you can see, we had a few rogue names in there. So instead, it is about Chris Davies, Swank, the head coach of Cardiff Rugby, and 2 names that I would be picking out. Ollie Sterling, the number 8, who brings havoc to every contact area that he graces his presence at. Tom Capel, who is a very capable back rower, finds himself in the 2nd row. And Jack Thomas wearing 11, a man capable of creating something out of nothing. And 2 very impressive halfbacks in George McDonald and Harrison James, stationed at scrum half and fly half, charged with releasing those back 3 talents. Right, so there's the Cardiff team. We're gonna give you the Cardiff Met update very, very shortly. There's a good time to bring Joe Cowell in for a bit of expert opinion in lieu of a team sheet. Tell us about some of the Cardiff Met players who we're going to be seeing out there today, former teammates of yours.
Yeah, obviously you've got the captain, Ben Murphy, wearing a number 1 jersey this evening. Over 50 appearances for the club, first team appearances, so a lot of experience there. Halfbacks then, you've got Steph Crimp, recently signed out in San Diego Legion, and Alex Terry at 9 as well, another great ball player. You're looking at the bench then, obviously you've got Vickers Meyer, who's obviously just come back from the Netherlands after playing with them. But obviously, again, if the game's close coming towards the last 20-25 minutes, he's going to be someone to look forward to, with obviously his big boot as well.
Hey Joe, I want a bit of expert opinion, not for you to steal all my lines. What am I going to say about these gentlemen when we do finally see them? But that's a beautiful shot there in the tunnel where the nerves begin to jingle and jangle, because they have the expectant Christmas jumper-clad crowd awaiting their arrival. There is no doubt about it. This is the big one as far as the cross-capital rivalry is concerned. The Clash Part 2 with a Christmas twist. Joe, how special were these days for you when you were not just playing but captaining?
Yeah, they're immense. Something that you'll always remember moving on after university. But you know, I think that these moments now where the boys are lining up in the tunnel is probably where you're most nervous. But at the same time, you're thinking about your job and what you've got to do. And yeah, it's going to be a great occasion tonight, I think.
From within the bowels of a church of Welsh rugby come Cardiff University, led by Tom Capel. And hot on their heels are the Met men. The Cardiff of King Coyd, who hope to be kings of the capital once more come the 80th minute. It is a fixture that has thrown up some of the epics in the BUCS Super Rugby annals. And it is one that Cardiff Uni have tasted victory in only once in their history. Can they change the record, or will history repeat itself today? For Ian Gardner and co, Josh Carrington is back wearing 15. He's missed the last 2. A deadly man, Steph Crimp, you heard from Joe there, is one to watch. And Arthur Moore, the young open side, is a name we will be hearing in many years to come. The Cardiff Clash, Part 2, the Christmas Cracker edition.
Great
Tosses
shot.
up a Christmas fumble right from the off. Well, they're Clash nerves if ever I saw them from Jack Ramsey.
Yeah, probably not expecting a scrum straight off kick-off, but this will be a massive massive test now to see where both packs line up for the rest of the game.
I'm going to defer this part of the game to you solely, Joe, because no one knows, well, your pack quite like you. You faced up against the Cardiff lot, and of course you're doing the business for Cardiff as well. And also, it'd be remiss to not acknowledge that it was 3 years ago this week that you made your European Cup debut against Toulouse here for Cardiff when you were still a student at Cardiff Met.
Bind! Set!
Ben Whitehouse, our referee this evening. I think that in itself is a nod to the esteem with which the university game is held in these parts these days. We've seen the likes of Adam Jones, we've got Ben Whitehouse, Craig Evans, who's been whistling BUCS Super Rugby matches, all international class referees. And certainly cool heads for what are often heated occasions.
Bind! Set!
Alex Terry, the former Worcester Warriors man, gets the ball in, and immediately it's a penalty to Met.
Yeah, great start for Met. Great shot by Murph and Connell there. Now we're looking for Crimp to go to the corner and hopefully get a bit of change out of that penalty there.
So what's happened there? Because, you know, back in the day we were used to seeing scrums go down a few times before the referee made a call, but it's a lot more emphatic these days. So what happened there? He said the hit was good. What next?
Yeah, I think Cardiff Met got out the blocks pretty well. On our side here, Connell Couch had a really good shot on the loose head, and I just think the pressure coming on from the pack is just caused them to go down.
Slick line out drills with George Merritt hitting his man, then breaking away and barreling over the defender in the 5-metre channel. Hooker on hooker. Goldsworthy gets flattened, but the penalty goes in favour of Cardiff. But that's a bit of alphaing off Merritt on Goldsworthy early in the 2 jersey. Jamie Goldsworthy's been out with injury a little bit, and he's showing a bit of ring rust there. And once again, it's Merritt who profits. 2-0 to the Met hooker.
Tackle release.
No route into the 22 just yet. But there are numbers, there is width, and there are so many Met hands and so much attacking ambition. But that is an uncompromising tackle, almost being flattened across the touchline. Cardiff come away with it.
There we go.
Capel waits expectantly as 2 Cardiff Met defenders for company. Stodgy ball, but George McDonald, formerly wearing the colours of Narberth, finds a very tidy clearance, and that's a pleasing pressure release for Cardiff.
Yeah, good defence, good scramble from Cardiff there, but I think as Cardiff Met, I think they'd be a bit disappointed there. Try to keep the ball a little bit, just try and get through the phases and hopefully try and get a bit of ball retention.
George Merritt finds Gethin Cannon, no worries at all, but a little bit of a disconnect with the handling, and it's scooped up by Steph Crimp, who has been in and around the USA Eagles group. He was training among them ahead of the Autumn Nation series. And that is outstanding work from Ollie Sterling. Precise. Really bit down. carry back into this. No 50-22-1, and they've invited Josh Carrington to maybe launch from deep. He doesn't mind a mazy run, and he beats the first. Brushes away the second, who clings to his bootstraps. Nice carry. Really accelerated onto that ball from Terry.
Use it!
Now, the chance for the Cardiff back three to counter. Cut down before breaking the halfway line. McDonald doesn't get the opportunity to box. It's a penalty to Cardiff.
Clear release, please. It wasn't clear enough.
So no clear release there as we take a look at some brisk benches. It is freezing here.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly, but yeah, obviously getting close to Christmas now, and you can see everyone trying to stay nice and warm in their Christmas jumpers. I'm sure after a couple of pints they won't feel the cold too much there.
There's no jacket like a beer jacket, is there? And a few Santa hats as well, just to warm the cockles that little bit more. And you can see the Cardiff counterparts there, right on top of Jamie Goldsworthy, who was packing down for Ospreys 18s recently, but it is his darts are an issue early in this match. That's 2 from 2, and that's not in the win column, I'm afraid. Met, though, are under pressure. Big shot coming in on Arthur Moore, the 6'4" fresher.
No, use it. Back.
Terry has a dig around and goes high, tight to the touchline, real tester, and that is expertly diffused and also evaded. Cardiff enjoying the run of the referee's whistle right now.
Yeah, quite frustrating, I think, for George Merritt there, but again, a lot of silly penalties in Cardiff Met's half, and giving Cardiff Uni a bit of confidence trying to get to the corner.
Well, it's all good and well hitting the touchline and driving to the corner. They need the second instalment of this attack. They need to hit their line out man. They've gone ambitiously towards the tail. I wonder if as a nerve settler, Goldsworthy will go to the front, and they do. They seek out Ramsey. It's loose and scrappy for McDonald, but he's got the fast wits and hands to get it wide. Sterling picks up. He only knows one way forward, and he drags a couple of net men with him. Good carry, McDonald, instinctive, just pops it away. Here come Cardiff, inches from the Cardiff Met line. Well, the Archers have done so well to slow that ball up as they now resource the short side. Just a glance up from McDonald. Now the carry, but no way through. The Archers' defensive resolve being tested. Popple. Now Ramsey, oh, a gaping hole, a Christmas chasm. Jack Ramsey, the club treasurer, cashing in at the Arms Park.
Yeah, good build-up play there from Cardiff. I think off a bit of a scrappy line-out, they managed to retain the ball and just go through the phases. You would be surprised next time if they do get a penalty in Cardiff Met half, whether or not they go to the corner, but you know, a lot of confidence to take from that try there.
Well, that's turned the dial down on the Cardiff Met Ultras somewhat, and Harrison James is showing all the composure of a man who's graced this field of play multiple times in the light blue and dark blue hoops of Cardiff in his time, as we look at Ramsey's finish, and it just opened up for the blind side.
Yeah, it's a great little a wrap around by Tom Capel there, just to try and draw the first two defenders, and then yeah, just parted then for him to run over and score.
Cardiff Met 0, Cardiff University 7, 10 minutes played, and another excellent kick-off that comes away in Archer hands. Just a drop of the shoulder and a dart back inside. And this time, Ben Whitehouse's arm goes in favour of Cardiff Met, a long-awaited penalty.
Yeah, needed that. Great reaction after the try. You know, you want to get a bit of field position now, and hopefully Steph can get it into the corner and give Met a bit of a chance here.
Well, a modest touch finder from Steph Krim. But they will be roared on by the Ultras, who are all stationed behind. How many Santa hats do you reckon that is, Joe Cal?
Thousands, I think. Primark's
the millions and millions.
Yeah, Primark's had an absolute rinsing today, I think.
Here we go, off the top. Tempo demanded, and big carrying from Liam Jones, who's a titan in the 6 jersey. Now they wrap back to the right. Dropped hard along the floor, end over end, but it's well covered. And absolutely magnificently cleared. I think there was more than a Toblerone shin's worth of fortune on it, but you couldn't get a better clearance.
So they haven't closed it, he stepped
No, really good there. Just wondering whether that was the right decision to kick in behind, but you know, again, just trying to get the ball and just try and keep the ball inside Cardiff and just try and have a bit of ball retention there. Just try and stress their defence a little bit. But we'll see what happens now. Liam Jones back out in the back line, so expect a big carry here.
To the tail, the Archers successfully go, and there he is, Liam Jones just having a juggle. Bench presses it off his chest and then regathers. Hint of a jackal, but nothing stolen. It's just not fluid for Cardiff Met right now.
Just seems like there's a couple of early nerves here, really, isn't it?
From the side.
There's a lot of options, aren't there? You see, the jerseys are flooding through, but the pass just not quite being picked. And that is a cleaner connection from Crimp, who I was saying early was involved in the Autumn Nations training squad for the United States of America. I think they had some games over in Europe. Wasn't capped, but as he said, I think being signed by San Diego Legion and following in the footsteps of Ethan McVeigh, actually, another Archer who actually went on to, he has been capped by the United States now.
Yeah, and Brandon Harvey from last year, he signed on, played a couple of games for the Legion.
Bit of transatlantic talent being offered up by the Archers, and off goes Jack Staton. He's building a lovely partnership with fellow Jacob Wilmot. And now there is that rhythm. There's the instinct of a volleyball pass that jumbles along the floor, and all of a sudden that good work is undone. Good meters that weren't really the Archers to take, and it's been kicked back to his own team. The disruption. Goldsworthy has a little scamper, and well, in Cardiff Met's haste to retrieve the ball, having had it stolen, they give away a penalty, and I think there's too many now, and this is why Ben Whitehouse is stepping in.
Trying to compete for everything from every direction, on your feet and off your feet. There's too many penalties from both sides. You both need to have a word, lads. Just trading penalties.
Yeah, you just hear him chatting to the both captains there. I think you know, Cardiff are getting a lot of confidence from a lot of spilt ball by Met. I think Cardiff Met have had a lot of chances now inside the Cardiff half, and every time they seem to have a chance, they don't really seem to get anything from it. So, you know, if anything, it's giving Cardiff Uni a lot of confidence here.
Oh, that is a gorgeous touch finder right out of the screws and into the heart of the Archers 22.
Yeah, there's nothing better as a forward seeing your 10 do things like that for you. Give him a little pat on the back for that, I think, when they run past him.
Harrison James, who was playing for Cardiff Rugby last year, but said he wanted to focus on BSR. So now He's very much wearing red and black week in, week out with 10 on his back. Not much change coming from that driving maul though.
Yes, silly penalty there. Obviously the maul hasn't moved off the mark, so can't advance onto the maul. The referee did tell him a couple of times not to advance, but obviously couldn't hear him. Massive let off for Met there though, I think.
Well, the shape of Cardiff's season hasn't been one littered with wins. However, there haven't been bad performances. I think that if you look at the points difference, you look at the win-losses column, you may think this is a foregone conclusion, but there are good players, and I think there's been a lingering sense of waiting for things to click and what might be the missing ingredient, and right now it is the big night under the lights at the Arms Park against their fiercest rivals. Bit of zip on it to Sterling, who shows his footwork and sets off in pursuit. It's second row, getting absolutely engulfed by the number 8.
Yeah, massive shot coming in there on Gethin Cannon, and I think little momentum switched on for Cardiff now. But like you said earlier, Burnsy, I think, you know, all the games that Cardiff have played, they've always been somewhat in the game until sort of like the last 20, 15 minutes. And I think there's a lot of things you can take from those games as well. And, you know, like I said earlier previously with Dave as well, anything can happen in Cardiff Clash. And I think, you know, they're coming into this game with massive want to win.
Massive want to win.
Crouch.
And a gilt-edged opportunity to double their try tally right here. Bit of a blind side to work with, and a drift round late here from the winger. One-on-one, point-blank range. Sam Plumer at the double for Cardiff. And the Met men are stunned. And Joe Cowell speechless.
Yeah, I just think there's, like I said, it was just a massive momentum change, and good push up from Murph on the loose head side, but great thinking by the scrum half to just go down blind and try and fix a 2-on-1.
A puff of the cheeks from Harrison James to settle the nerves, to match that of Joe Cowell next to me. That is a peach from Harrison James. And we take another look at this try that was so simple. You could see Plumer targeting that short side from a mile off. Net reacted too sluggishly, but fortunately for them, the kick-off woes of Cardiff continue. I mean, they've gotten away with it to this point, but if we can get a camera on Chris Davies, he's going to be ripping his hair out.
Yeah, a bit of a coach killer, I think. You know, you go 14 points up, and then straight off the kick-off, you drop the ball. But, you know, I think for Met now, you're looking at your 9s, your 10s, your Josh Carringtons to sort of lead the way here a little bit, and it all comes from this scrum now, just to try and get good ball, and just try and keep the ball inside the half, and like I said earlier, just try and stress their defence a little bit.
Chris Davies has a wonderful head of hair, by the way. I think, you know,
Watch my arm.
He'd be in good shape nevertheless. Sort of D-Rog-esque, I'd say.
Fine.
Although I'm sure you'll agree, I think that he went a bit too close with an East London razor in his that he got done just especially for the Clash.
And now it's time to ask the question whether they go into the corner or just try and get a bit of points on the board.
I tried to manage his elbow back up by asking him, but he continued to crank. I tried to manage his elbow back up, and he continued to crank it up.
I think they're looking to try and back the pack here, try and get Steph to try and get us as close to the line as possible, and See what magic the forwards can create here.
For not the first time, Cardiff Met probe the corner. And George Merritt, whose set piece, true to his reputation, has been excellent. Doesn't have far to go as they target the front. They've got a nudge and they're grinding through the gears, and more maroon and yellow jerseys are arriving on the scene, but the breakaway is snuffed out.
Yeah, penalty advantage here as well, so just a bit of patience here, and maybe we'll try and see if we can get out the backs here.
Release Cardiff.
Cardiff implored to release as the Archers put their shoulders to the wheel.
The ball went back inside, so I didn't see if you got anything. We'll go back for the penalty.
So a conference with the assistant means we come back from the penalty.
The ball went towards in the direction away from me, so I couldn't see it. We're going to go back for your penalty.
And what are you calling here for, Joe?
Scrum every day of the week, I think.
Collapse.
It's got to be.
Slipped, but you brought the ball
Looks
down.
as though it's going to be a little tap play though. Ben Murphy eyeing the ball up here.
Ben Murphy, tap. Oh, when planets collide. Carnage on the Cardiff try line. A second propulsion. And the Archers finally strike true. And I think
No, just both teams.
it may have been Liam Jones,
It's like it's just one.
the
for
man
one.
from Merthyr.
Do you agree with that, lads?
Is the man for the moment for Cardiff Met.
One side in particular. It's just both.
Well, I beg your pardon, after looking to Joe Cowell to get confirmation that was Liam Jones, he's now said, oh no, it was Will Owen. So the man who's filling not just the jersey, but the sizable boots of Ardal Yallop, who's out with a hamstring injury, has delivered the goods.
Yeah, and a big loss of that as well, with Ardal being out this week. But Will's a terrific player. Kind of came around last year when and had a few games in BSR, but has a lot of potential here. The big number 8.
It'd be handy if you knew what he looks like, though, Joe, just going forward for the rest of the match. Here he is. And it was that melee of bodies. He was helped through the hole by Arthur Moore.
Stay back. No, he's
Just
dropped back.
what
Inside.
the Dr. Gardner ordered, I'd say.
Use it, balls available.
Cardiff Met, who've been second best for this opening quarter of the match, now have something to show for their modest endeavours. Ellis Davis throws a howler. Harrison James gets clobbered as he looks to sweep up the crumbs.
Thank you. Use it.
Big night this for the likes of Ellis Davis, one of many freshers. So too Josh Twigg, the loose head for Cardiff tonight. This is a big occasion for young men, with not just a full but a historic stadium bearing down upon them.
Good.
Oh, that is inexcusable. Josh Carrington, cool as the other side of the pillow, mops up the mess and dishes it to Crimp. Well, there's no shortage of physicality out there, Joe. This is what the Clash is all about, but there is a bit of collateral damage and some urgent need for medical assistance as well.
Yeah, looks like Connell Couch is down and looks in a bit of pain by here, holding his knee. And I think that's a Cardiff Uni player down on the far side as well. I can't really see too well.
There is.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I mean, we always big up a Wednesday for BUCS Super Rugby. We always big up the Clash, and invariably they do deliver. But this feels like it's got the foundations for one of those nights, one of those Wednesday nights.
Yeah, massively. And I think you look back at the first round, well, the first game at the start of the year, and as much as it was a great win for Met, you want it to be a contest, and you want it to be. There he is, look, Ardal there in his ones.
Looks like he's enjoying himself there.
E3? Yeah. Clear cranking. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're buying like that.
There's Arlo Yallop there. He's meant to be wearing the number 8 jersey. Oh, we've lost him we lost him there.
The reason he went down is
Instead of ball carrying, he's 2-pint carrying at the moment.
that elbow up. His
Oh,
elbow was
now
like
it's
that to
one.
start with, and then
Great form and an EG at the end there as well.
Well, the stoppage in the game is for
and finals.
an injury to Cardiff University's number 5, who is down on the team sheet as Tom Capable, but it's definitely not, because he's got a shock of blonde hair there and he's in and amongst the group,
Try and pick it up on
imparting a bit of wisdom. It's Sam Gilbert, who is on just his second BUCS Super Rugby start this evening, the 3rd year.
play it on.
Ollie Close is away with Wales under-19s. It's an interesting thing, Wales under-19s are playing Scotland 19s in 2 successive weekends, 1 home, 1 away,
Okay,
and
lads, it's inside the
one
half of
team
the
is
blue.
playing this week, and then they're going to bring in a whole fresh group of players to play Scotland the next week. They're all down in the Vale having like a proper professional international experience.
Scrum net ball.
Yeah, and they started training Monday and playing down on the Wern down in Merthyr Friday afternoon, I think. So yeah, that should be a good game as well. But nice to see Sam Gilbert get up and walk off as well. Obviously, it's never nice seeing someone led down on the pitch, but yeah, it's nice to see him walk off there. Another big scrum come in. So
Crouch.
Well, they're missing their genuine second
Fine.
row in the engine room, in Sam Gilbert
Set.
being off the field.
Elbows
Tom
up,
Caple's more of
elbows
a back row. Not quite sure who's come on, but nice and stable. And Cardiff Met go drifting, inviting Cardiff defenders and inviting Josh Carrington to link up with Cohen. Henry Cohen
Go back.
slips
Everyone back.
away into the 22, and quick ball needed whilst Cardiff repopulate their defensive lines. That's a beautiful slide of
Isolated.
hand. The props Murphy to Couch. Oh, but there might be a yellow card that will accompany this penalty. The referee had warned the captains, and
Good
this
attack,
is
good attacking ball.
a damning
7
couple of
straight off
minutes
his
for
feet.
Cardiff. A try conceded. Sam Gilbert lost to injury and now reduced to 14 men.
Go on, we'll play through.
yeah, it looks like Owen Popple there, shown a yellow card. And now Met going to the corner, obviously having Cardiff having 1 man down, so hopefully trying to have a little bit of a mismatch here.
What's the question? Sorry, lads. Come on. Numbers.
But it's just a matter of being patient here, I think. First sort of 10-15 minutes, Cardiff Met had a bit of ball inside Uni's half, and a couple of times they lost it, which gave Cardiff Uni a lot of confidence. So I think it is now massive to just try and keep the ball and keep the pressure on you.
Good access.
To the front they go, and they shear to the right, and they use the momentum. But again, they dive bomb short of the line. Now the big men working threes. Out the back. Fizz to the centre of the field. And Josh Carrington, the reigning King of Kincoid, cruises through the chasm. And Met have their second with a kick to come to level the clash at Christmas.
Yeah, what a player Josh Carrington is as well. And you know, we lost the likes of Steph Davis last year, gone to Coventry, and bringing in Josh now, and the form he's had this year has just been brilliant. And yeah, he's definitely a player to watch for the rest of the season and years to come as well.
So the reason I called him King Coyd there is because there is an award system within Cardiff Met where they do an award for the most impressive player of a period, and I've seen the video that associates it where said player is crowned the King Coyd, and it's Ian Gardner's face superimposed on
The Lion King, wasn't it?
who's the monkey from the Lion King?
Rafiki.
Rafiki. and he lifts Josh Carrington's face on Simba up for the star performer. It's weird, but we love weird on BUCS Super Rugby. We also love a nerve shredder on a Wednesday night, and we're 14 points apiece with 27 minutes and a fair chunk of the 28th gone.
Clear access!
Fabulous player Josh Carrington, former S4C try of the week as well. Try of the month, I beg your pardon. In the white jersey of Swansea.
Leave it now.
Yeah, quality player and quality feet as well.
Everyone retreat.
George McDonald's taken the lob wedge out.
He was onside.
And it's worked out for Steph Crimp. Love that from Ben Murphy, looking to free the arms up despite having two Cardiff defenders clinging to him.
Drop back, Cardiff.
Yeah, it looked like we're going into a bit of a kicking battle here as well now between the two nines. Just trying to get a bit of field position here, bit of territory going on.
Ellis Davis claims it smartly and has his ribs tickled for the pleasure. There's the replacement, Tom Purchase, the fourth-year medic.
Stay on side, Reds. Wingers on.
6'4" of him. That's a nice kick, and it's got a good jag off the bouncy 4G. An arm goes up, and that's bananaed out. That's a pretty good return considering the mire that Met were in there.
Yeah, I mean, I take a line out just outside the 22, then a 50-22 there just on the 5 metre line. So, yeah, great work by Steph Crimp there under a bit of pressure and shows off his skills with a lovely banana kick.
There's 2 meters there, buddy. Yeah, all good there. I thought you were trying to come in.
Well, Tom Purchase is in there now. And it is rather awkwardly and ungainly claimed.
There you are, still moving. Still moving. Out now, Cardiff. Good. Stay as you are.
They get a bit of forward momentum, but it doesn't seem completely cohesive at the moment. Now numbers arrived. Oh, a fingertip stretcher for the try scorer Plumer, who does really well. Heading back in to heavy traffic. There's Purchase. Little short ball to Matt Townsrow, former West Bridgeford RFC man. Oh, just a little lift into Oscar van der Venter.
Oh, here we go now. Little big chase.
Cardiff are on hands. 50-22. Another 50-22 on. Does this one cut the mustard?
Just short.
An unkind bounce, and we're back to where we were. Right, 30 minutes gone, Joe. What are you saying as a captain out there?
Just think you've got to. It's hard to be honest. I think from a Cardiff Met perspective, going 14-0 down is probably not something that you plan on in the week at all. And I think coming back from 14-0,
you shock me.
Yeah,
you shock me.
And coming from 14-0 to 14-all, I think is good. From a Cardiff Uni point of view, I think it's just about taking the opportunities when you get them. I think a couple of times they've been inside the Cardiff Met half, same with Cardiff Met inside the Cardiff Uni half, and just think a couple of times now they haven't really been very clinical, and it just gives each side. Ooh. He's got to go off here as well, hasn't he?
Cardiff are going to be reduced to 13 men now because Owen Popple is still serving his sentence, and he's going to be joined by George McDonald.
2-on-1, winger outside with no line break opportunity.
Yeah, frustrating one that, I think, especially for the Cardiff Uni coaches. I think they'd be quite frustrated. You're looking at it from up here, probably didn't really need to jab in there. But yeah, you know, down 2 men now.
Played for them earlier.
Again, don't want that either, do.
Certainly do
Clear.
not.
Good access.
Cardiff have a very tricky period to navigate here, but that is excellent, isn't it, from Davis, applying the pressure to Crimp. Carrington, could he have gone wide there? That's his athleticism, but numbers remain out wide. That's a beautiful slingshot offload. Met have really settled now. Well, no sooner I say that, they cough up possession. But are there enough Cardiff attackers to make it count? The answer is no right now. Big period for them to ride out as we approach half-time.
Still red advantage. Knock on.
Bit of a bounce there.
Yeah, you're looking just to try and force a penalty, I think. Yeah.
He did release. The ball got dropped. A bit closer.
Advantage is being played there, and they won't mind this, Cardiff, because this is time out of the clock. This is less time to play against the full complement when they're down to 13. And it'd be interesting to see what the makeup is going to be. So they've slipped Jack Thomas, former Queen's Academy player. He's handy at full-back. I think he's played a bit of 10 in his time as well. Not sure that he's earmarked as a scrum half. And you can see as well, no number 8 installed in the absence of Popple.
Bind! Set! Just all go out.
Yeah, I think Cardiff Uni having a bit of confidence trying to stay at 7 men here, but obviously being 2 men down, they only have five backs in the backfield, so they've got to try and keep as many in as possible. Yeah.
I reset. I couldn't see what's happening over there.
Fascinatingly, Cardiff have chosen to cycle on Finn Charles as one of their interchange replacements, who is a recognised scrum half. Very sparky young individual. He's scored in a clash before, picked up the bonus point try in years gone by. Someone else has made way in the midfield. They've rather wisely put their subs jacket on so quickly that I haven't been able to see their number. Strange happenings down pitch side.
Yeah, you can just see on pitch side as well. Owen Popple getting ready to come back on. So wonder how long it'll be until he makes a return to the field.
The Cardiff scrum begins to crumble, but the ball is out and it's wobbling around in that breezy capital air.
Ripped before.
Here we go.
Stripped with the strength of Kerwin.
Tackle release!
Ex-back rower, actually. Moved to the wing last year, pretty sure.
There we go. What a transition that is. And now some air put on it. That bounce will give Cardiff the opportunity to race across. But now it's in the hand of Dylan Scott. Deadly Dylan winding up, but unable to find the killer pass. Charles picks out Carrington, the last man you want with a fractured field. That's ambitious, too ambitious. Ramsey claims it.
Clearly offside.
And a penalty to Cardiff. And a little bit of biff as well. It wouldn't be Christmas without an argument around the table, would it?
You do that again? I'll turn the penalty over. Next player.
Yeah, just again, just so frustrating. You get a mini line break, and as much as it was on to give the pass on the inside, and it was just unfortunate that the ball didn't go to hand. It's just one of those decisions you make there, whether or not you just keep the ball and just try and keep the pressure on there.
I think this is a great call. Potential 3 points for Cardiff and 60 seconds out of the clock.
Yeah, well, I remember when I came to watch the first clash this year, he was slotting balls over way past the halfway line. So we'll see now whether or not he strikes this one nicely.
Well, he's done it many times here in the dark and light blue of Cardiff. To a Christmas cacophony. Harrison James doesn't have the legs. And that's almost stays in field. I feel that both sides have sort of had a huge collective lapse in concentration during this sin-bin period, and now Cardiff are back to 14. Owen Popples back onto the field. And they've only got a few minutes of not just the half remaining, but until they're back to the full complement. And now line out to sticking. Capel reaches across the divide. Van der Venter.
Okay, chance gone now.
Just sort of takes forward. Tell you what, Tom Purchase has been impactful since coming onto the field. It's all narrow from Cardiff, but why not when you're running through tepid tackles like that? Ollie Smith is clasping his shoulder. Now Davis goes jinking through. Capel shrugs off one lovely feet and zipping his heels. Into the pocket for a droppy. No, it's not. James! Miraculous from James! Deeper into the Met 22. Now there's numbers out left if they can find the ball into the second layer.
Out, Met.
Instead, they thrust forward down the narrow channel. Capel again. Van der Venter. Well, there's an edginess to the Arms Park. The Cardiff Met Ultras stunned into silence.
Your player kicked it.
But almost with one blast of the whistle, an audible release of pressure in the stadium as Cardiff Met fans were so tense as Cardiff have almost been buoyed by these yellow cards.
Yeah, it's kind of a common trend, to be honest. Every time when teams go down numbers on the pitch, they seem to have some sort of like spark of energy again. And I think, you know, for Cardiff as well, being there, great feat there by Harrison James. But yeah, it's a massive let off for Cardiff Met there.
Come on, boys. In, come on.
Scrappy ball for Terry. Direct from
Tackle,
Staten.
move back.
Closing stages of this first 40. Cardiff have it in transition. Harrison James finds the ball batted back, and I think Ben Whitehouse had simply had enough. The whistle blast. He draws a conclusion to a fascinating first 40 that has yielded 4 tries, 2 apiece, both converted. But right now, the cross-capital rivals cannot be split.
1 minute.
Half time at the Arms Park. Cardiff Met 14, Cardiff 14.
No, elbows weren't. Hands were, but you were on your elbows. Okay. You were literally like that over the ball. Okay. You overreached. You're on your tiptoes. You're on your elbows.
Oh, but there's an awful lot to enjoy about that first half, Joe. And from a Cardiff perspective, namely the opening 2 tries.
Yeah, I think Cardiff Uni probably talked about this coming into the game, to just try and see if they can score first, try and silence the crowd. Obviously, Cardiff Met being the home team, and yeah, they did do that really well as well. I think you see here they a bit patient with the ball, great carries coming in from Owen Popple, and then you just see this wrap round here coming from Tom Capel here, just to try and draw a bit of defence, and then Jack Ramsey over to score.
Now the captain sacrificing himself for the greater good. Jack Ramsey, the beneficiary. And in terms of ruthless striking, this was Cardiff back at it, getting the second try of the match, a 5-metre scrum. George McDonald, who spent 10 minutes on the naughty step in the latter stage of the half, finding Sam Plumer sweeping round. And that was far too simple in all truth.
Yeah, I think under pressure, scrum time, and then just a little nib down the blind side, and a great finish all in all.
Well, more pressure this time from the Archers yielded this penalty, and look at the commitment to the collisions from both sets of forwards. Eventually, with the help of Arthur Moore on his back, Will Owen was thrust across the line, and then it was more of the same from close range.
Yeah, not quite note on Arthur Moore there on an amazing latch on Will Owen to score the first try, and I think bit of a similar sort of start to that try in the second one. A couple of around the corners, a couple of big latches coming in, and then yeah, the backs get to show their magic, and Josh Carrington's going over with a great score.
Right, we're loving life here in the capital of Wales for Cardiff Met against Cardiff in the Clash, but there is plenty more to come on the live stream. We're going to be back in Wales at St Helens as Heartbreak travel across the Severn Bridge, and then it is a ding-dong down in Devon for Exeter versus table-topping Bath, who I believe have just been downed in emphatic style on home soil by Loughborough this evening. Who would have predicted that? Who would have predicted anything in this crazy league? And the architects of that big victory on the road had success on home soil against the reigning league champions a few weeks ago in a repeat of last year's final.
Hello everybody, it is Wednesday. It is everyone's favourite day because the best league in the land is here. And by here, I mean in the East Midlands. We're getting to the stage of the season where it might look sunny, but we can see our breath and putting our hands in our pockets because it is absolutely freezing. But it's a great day, and it's a great company as well. We have Loughborough Lighting's very own Red Rose in the Ice Champion.
Loughborough in their iconic African violet have the ball in the hands of their playmaker Leah Green, ready to kick into the arms of Exeter and get round 8 of the women's BUCS Super Rugby season underway. Exeter, well-populated line out, all the numbers available and wood picked out in the skies. Loughborough don't compete, and Exeter begin to turn the screw. They rumble round to the right, and the power is irresistible. Richardson's personal tape bill is looking eye-watering on a Wednesday night. Izzy Winter claims it smartly, and Loughborough are looking to dish out a bit of mauling justice to Exeter here. 5 metres from the Devonians line, a break, a surge, and a try for the African Violet. The Loughborough scrum is holding up well to the Exeter examination at the moment. Morale. Oh, that's beautiful hands from Loughborough. They've opened up Exeter on that left edge, and Alice Bennett is going to scorch in the Loughborough seconds. 2 metres out. Exeter in their happy place, picking and going and driving to the line. Not quite there. One more will do it. There's a rhythm to the manner in which Loughborough are building their attacks now. How long can Exeter hold? Not much longer. As Baverstock hurtles through a hole and connects with Carmella. Under pressure, every tackle needs to be made. Loughborough tear it from the grasp of Exeter. And ecstasy envelops Loughborough as they defeat Exeter in a thriller in the Midlands. Welcome to Ethanol Way, in the heart of the Midlands, on the biggest university campus in Europe. We are where history begins. We're here at Loughborough. All bets are off when these two heavyweights clash. They only deal in epics.
BUCS Super Rugby live on a Wednesday. Exeter versus Loughborough. Exeter in the green, Loughborough in the African violet. Ginger Lock to get his hands on it last time. They've gone to Evans again. Again they go to the maul. This looks a bit more promising though for Loughborough. Third time lucky. Try time for the hosts. Excellent hands. Out of the back it goes now. Jack Bracken has got a nose for the try line. Instead it's a beautiful ball inside to Sam Bryan. Bryan gets try number 2. Outstanding work. Try for Exeter. The pressure has told, and they are right back in it on the scoreboard. They're just desserts for an extended time inside the Loughborough 22. Again, Exeter just doing well to slow him down. Preen in at first receiver, tips to Theo Mail. Great line, great try, and it's a third of the night for Loughborough. Back into the Exeter 22, searching for the bonus point after just half an hour. Bryan has a snipe, Jack Bracken's in, it is a bonus point. Bracken beats the man and another. Jack Bracken offloads to Sam Bryan. Bryan's in for his second.
Oh my word.
2 tries for Bryan, 2 assisted by Bracken. What an opportunity here for Sam Bryan to go in for his hat-trick. Just what the doctor ordered for the African Violet. Here's Bracken. Bracken feeding Gourlay. Gourlay skipping away. Back to Bracken. Bracken is over for try number 9. And that is full time. Phenomenal performance from Loughborough. 9 tries against last year's league champions. Credit to Exeter. They went down to 14 men. They started the second half brilliantly. And they leave with 1 point, but they are looking up the table.
When you play here at uni and in BUCS, sometimes it's the most fun rugby of your career. You know, get to play in front of the university, play with your best mates, and that's a really rare opportunity. So you can see how much it means to these lads tonight, and I do miss it.
Pleasure to have you here this evening. That's Freddie Stewart, and the pleasure to have you wherever you've been watching around the world. The best league in the land. It's full of surprises. However, Loughborough get the spoils tonight. They've defeated Exeter in women's and men's BUCS Super Rugby, but the crown never lasts long. They'll be back next week. We will too. The next live stream is in Cardiff on the 4th of December. Until then, goodbye.
I feel that D-Rog and Freddie should look like some sort of low-rent East London like freestyling groups there, with him sort of just posing behind you as you did the send-off there, Dave. Well, we've enjoyed a little bit of a breather, Joe Cowell and I, as we get ourselves ready for a big 14 minutes of both Cardiff Uni and Cardiff Met. Uni are out, they're ready to rumble. Met are making them wait. What do you think's in store for us, Joe, for another 40 after one that sees the two sides locked at 14 all?
Always good food in Cardiff. Talking to refs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes up in the next sort of 10-15 minutes. I think half-time, I think both coaches would be somewhat happy and somewhat annoyed with bits and bobs in the first half, but you know, it's all to play for in this second half, and I think if both teams take their chances when they get given them, I think we'll be in for a brilliant second half.
Cardiff have wasted no time in getting out, and I want to look. Situations like this are disconcerting. Well, we will find out, because here come the Met men on their big night. It's their home clash tonight, and they will be desperate to be heading into the festive period with a Christmas victory against their arch rivals.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the Cardiff Met coaching staff will start making a bit of changes. You know, you got the likes of BUCS Super on the bench, like I said previously before the game, like bags and bags of experience and hell of a boot on him as well. And I think if the game's still in the mixer, coming towards the latter ends of the game, he's going to be a massive part in hopefully a Met victory.
A high-hanging restart that was there to be claimed by a Cardiff hand. Instead, it's knocked forward. Oh, it was a beauty from Harrison James, he may have not slotted his long-range penalty in that first half, but he really has demonstrated his kicking prowess.
Yeah, he's a great player. Obviously, coming out of Cardiff age grades and now focusing on uni, but you've seen in the first half a couple of glimpses of what he can produce, and again he'll be a massive part in Cardiff Uni this second half.
Crouch!
Bit of an anxious energy around the arms part, one that sees the weighting of support primarily in favour of Cardiff Met. Although, if you were to look closely at the crowd, you think that Lapland are taking on the North Pole in the big Christmas derby. The Elves are out.
8 knock on the back, lads.
Plenty of jolly fat men as well.
Oh, big boned, I think it is. Big boned. That's what my mother says anyway. Yeah, we've just seen George McDonald return to the field there after his sin bin as well, and yeah, a bit of a let off for Cardiff Uni. Knock on from men off kick off, and then a knock on from Willow in off the base of the scrum. So Cardiff Uni ball inside Met's third.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Handy piece of attacking real estate for Cardiff. The blindside won't be used. In fact, none of it will be used because the penalty arm is flung in the direction of Cardiff, and there is a big shake. In fact, of commentary gantry shaking here. Joe Cowell.
Yeah, I think Murph will be frustrated there. I think he probably had the upper hand on the tight head for Cardiff Uni. But again, it's what the ref sees on the field, and if he sees any sort of kick of the hips, he's going against the loose head. But yeah, attacking opportunity for Cardiff Uni now, sort of 10 metres out from the Cardiff Met line.
The dream opening. Oh, this line out is really scratchy. They've gone to the front and they've miraculously come away with it, but it's less than a 50-50 chance it's going to come away in Cardiff hands each time. They'll banish that memory though, and they'll build right here through Purchase. He's getting plenty of Purchase in the contact areas. Well, McDonald tries to milk a penalty, which he successfully does, and he taps and goes, but you wonder whether points might be the order of the day here.
Yeah, I think you've got to cash your chips when you got them, and I think coming out from to start the second half, I think the chat might have been a half-time just to try and get the first score, and whether that be a try or penalty, I think Cardiff Uni be quite happy with 3 points here.
I mentioned before that Harrison James kind of stopped playing for Cardiff because he wanted to focus on BUCS Super Rugby. If that wasn't enough, that this man is serious about BSR. If you Google Harrison James, the first result is his LinkedIn, and it says Harrison James, BUCS Super Rugby player. That's not a bad profession, is it? And it's one that he's mastering from the tee right now. It's 3 added via the penalty. And Cardiff have the lead once again. Their opponents yet to find themselves in that position with just shy of 45 minutes played. Excellent box kick, and Carrington owns the airspace in the arms part. And Dylan Scott almost breaks free. finds himself isolated, and the Jackling jaws clamp down.
Yeah, a great piece of skill there by Josh Carrington, leaping high up in the air to get that ball, and just about his awareness of seeing who's around him and getting the ball away to Dylan Scott to hopefully have a bit of a line break. But yeah, a bit of let off here for Cardiff Met, and see what Josh Carrington can do now.
Carrington gives it to one of the big lads, and now in a flash it's out to the right edge.
Ball.
Muscular work from Cardiff. The maul was called. You thought for a moment that the Archers had got it to deck.
Yeah, and it's just these little 2%ers here that's just going to feed Cardiff Uni's fire here. I think, you know, every time they're under pressure, they always end up seeming to get the ball back. And like we spoke at half-time, whenever Cardiff Uni get any sort of confidence, they're a dangerous team. And I think for Cardiff Met, it's just about limiting those errors, limiting the amount of times that they try and spill the ball up. But you see here now, we spoke about it just at the start of the second half. When will he bring on BUCS, and now they have.
So BUCS Meyer, the Dutch fly half, all 6'3" and 105 kilos of him, into the fray, and partnered by Chris Johnson, the centre. He broke into the first in the last half of the season. Very consistent.
Crouch.
Yeah, very big ball carrier as well, Chris. He always seems to get on the front foot and gives that sort of that playing ability to get on past the defensive line and give BUCS a bit of time on the ball as well.
Well, it's Harrison James, the other 10, who's got his hands and time on the ball. It's a nice, meaty carry offered by Tom Kilmartin. His centre partner, Van der Venter, the plastic Safa they call him at Clanrumney.
Use it. Stay. Stop yellow.
And this could be a masterful 50-22, or it could be all the way back to scrum time in the Archers half. The margin's so fine. The bounce of the ball, sometime oh so cruel.
I said I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, can you what's you want to do? I'm just asking, can you just keep an eye? Next time I'll see it.
Well, the Ultras are trying to rally behind their men.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity here as well for the Cardiff Met pack to try and put a bit of pressure on Cardiff Uni. You know, a couple of times now, Ben Murphy and Connell have gone up on Cardiff Uni side, but the last time they got up on there, they obviously given away a penalty. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they attack this now, or whether or not they just hold off a little bit.
A bit of bit of beef is warming up, or he's stripped off, ready to come on at tight head. Jack Beezer.
Set.
Wearing 18, so this could be the final scrum for Matt Towndrow. Oh, and it's one that sees Cardiff splintered. No penalty comes, and now the red and black hoop jerseys fly. Good low tackle arriving just as James was beginning to arc around that edge. Will Owen working Cardiff, just finding meters one-on-one. The tackling, you feel, could be more ferocious from Cardiff Met at times. Wow, slung back wonderfully. Purchase again, like a javelin, arriving onto that ball. James, oh, doesn't give it to his fullback, then he does. Was it forward?
No.
The question answered. Ben Whitehouse. That's the kind of fast press defence that Cardiff Met want. A juggle by the back row onto Sterling. He bumps his first man, almost slips free. Oh,
big shot there, Murph.
Oh yes! Control, alt, delete in the midfield. Capel, still in Cardiff hands. It's scrappy. It's not always fluid, but Cardiff are finding a way. Archers not committing men into the breakdown, a mischievous dribble through.
It bounced, it's in line here.
And a tackle off the ball.
9.
Yeah, I think there's good defensive set there from Cardiff Met, but yeah, frustrating to give that penalty away, and obviously we have a tackle off the ball wherever the ball lands. That's where the penalty is, and Cardiff Uni get a penalty on the Cardiff Met 5-metre line.
I understand if you're committed, but he took 2 or 3 steps into it.
Another thought of going for the poles, and the changes being made. Matt Towndrow departing the field. Jack Beezer.
My arms, okay?
He's packed down for Aberavon this season, having been picked up from Pontyclean RFC. He brings his ballast to a driving maul.
From the back.
That is moving into the gears, but they may not have protected the ball carrier well enough.
Yeah, I think a couple of Met boys are on there holding on to the ball. If they come away with a scrum here, that'd be great defence.
Opportunity spurned for Cardiff Uni and Jamie Goldsworthy.
Yeah, I'm sure guards will be quite happy with that defence there. Probably looked over it all year, but specifically on Monday as well, looking over their line-out defence. And yeah, you can't ask for much more from the pack there. Worked really hard and spun Cardiff Uni line-out and come away with the goods. Got to ask the question now. They've had 2 big scrums, Cardiff Met, whether or not they go and try and win a penalty here, take a bit of pressure off themselves, give Vikas an opportunity to get the ball down inside the Cardiff Uni half.
It's a big test. It's a big opportunity for Beezer to make his mark here as well, to sort of change the picture in the referee's head. He's from the scrummaging church of Hartbury College. He's a former Bristol Bear, but still Met in the ascendancy. They chipped the ball away in double quick time, and you wonder if they held it in there, would they get a call from the referee?
Yeah, a bit rushed, I think there. I think Cardiff Met had a bit of a nudge on, and I think if they kept the ball in, it certainly would have been a question to ask the referee.
Bloomer plumbing his way through the Met defenders. More soft shoulders being offered up by the Archers until a couple of granite ones arrive. Ooh, little dribble through.
Stop, yellow, stop.
And Vikas Meyer. Vikas Meyer!
That's what you want as well, you know, coming off the bench and bringing on that sort of experience and that nudge as well. He's got an unbelievable boot on him, an unbelievable vision, and to get right out down inside the Cardiff Uni 22, what a turn of the table.
The Dutchman has drilled a gargantuan 50-22. A momentum arresting kick.
I agree with him.
And in a flash, the Archers are into the Cardiff 22. Can they make Uni pay? Goodness me, Ben Murphy's worked hard. A captain's knock from the loose head. He'll keep going until the shepherd's crook comes out.
He's got to be patient here, Cardiff Met.
Quick ball. Met, missiles exploding. The tackle arriving from Davis. And now fly hack through. No whistle comes. Coast to coast. Alarm bells ringing.
Steph Crimp. Unbelievable work by Steph Crimp.
And the roar of the Arms Park so loud that the referee and the assistants can't hear one another.
Yeah, you've got to be asking the question here. I think Ben Murph's got to be over there asking the question whether or not he was committed in the tackle or whether or not that was a try-scoring opportunity. I think the linesman's just gone over to the referee and said that he was committed in the tackle, so scrum to Cardiff Met, I think.
Why is it not a penalty, sorry? Because it's in the tackle, not his arm wasn't wide. He said it hit his head, it hit his arm.
High drama.
Thanks, man. I could only hear crackling. I knew you were trying to say something to me.
Oh, it's breaking up nicely, isn't it? It's breaking up nicely. A few more twists and turns to come in this contest.
Yeah, but yeah.
25 minutes, an eon in BUCS Super Rugby time continuum.
If that happens again,
yeah, just a massive shout out to Steph Kemp as well. They're working so hard to get back and win that ball. 2 Cardiff Uni boys chasing after that ball, him on his own, and to get past those 2 and get down on the ball and win the ball back for Cardiff Met, albeit returning back up to the 22, but massive work by him there.
Keep it straight.
BUCS Mayer, the monstrous fly half, takes it flat, flips it out the back to Carrington, misses out everybody, and now it's up to pace, it's up to flight of foot, and Kerwin's reeled in.
Timed it well.
Time for the big men to make a dent. Cardiff competing hard on the floor, but still, the mission, the missile Murphy detonates the Cardiff defence.
Oh, that's going on a highlight reel for sure.
The captain came from orbit.
Oh, what a try. He was like a winger. I don't think I've ever seen him move that fast in my life. He was motoring.
Composure has been lost in the commentary gantry from my co-commentary professional. Here he comes from outer space with a line out of this world. First, the width, the feet of Kerwin. One more carry, and then the arrival.
Yeah, what a line as well. I think he was more on the inside tip line there for Connell Couch, but yeah, caught the ball, play was in front of him, and it just opened up for him. And yeah, fair play, great try under the sticks.
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened on that kickoff. A pod got sent up.
Use it.
And Met have come away with it.
Yeah, just see a change there for Cardiff Met. Liam Jones off and Lockie McGowan on.
Liam Jones making way. Ellis Davis, who's really beginning to flourish the more minutes that accumulate on the clock. Solid under the high ball and becoming more adventurous in the manner in which he returns the ball.
Stop, Red. Stop.
A high hanger on the angle. Who's going to come away with it? Josh Carrington. That's who. Cardiff Met into the lead for the very first time. Connell Couch.
Stop for me. Stop yellow, stop yellow. 20.
And a little extra left in on BUCS Mayer. Davis, the safe. Doesn't really return many more meters. A clap of the hand, and George McDonald under some time pressure here. Mayer unprotected. Shows his strength, shows his athleticism. Rides that challenge. Oh! Now Cardiff are in. Still, Van der Venter. It was Jack Thomas who just needed another half metre. Everyone on the edge of their seat here at the Arms Park. Big bullocking run and wonderful strength to almost hold him up. Popple, smart hands. Oh, brilliant pickup right off the tiptoes from Van der Venter.
Back. You got to shift with it.
The continuity of Cardiff impressive here. The pass selection of James. A little bit forward.
There was a it's a forward pass here. Just for that. time off. And we'll restart with a high tackle.
There are lots of athletic young men with their hands on their knees doubled over at the moment, Joe. This is a rapid game.
Yeah, it has been. It's been from minute one, to be honest, and certainly within the last sort of 10-15 minutes, it's started to pick up a little bit more. And this is when you start to look at the bench now. Massive impact coming on for the boys, and from both sides, you look to them as the finishers. You know, when a game's sort of in the mixer, coming towards the last 20, you're looking at your leaders and the boys coming on. So very interesting last 20 minutes for sure.
Well, we say it so many times that BUCS Super Rugby is a true examination of depth, and it's a true examination of the lengths that people will go to for a free game of rugby. That cohort there on the balcony, you're used to seeing scenes like that at Lord's for the cricket, but BUCS Super Rugby even
we stopped for 2 of their players, so we'll just
has that kind of reach. Good on them, I say. There you go, enjoying the free action. Oh, very cultured as well. A couple of wine glasses, a nice Chablis on the go. Oh, here we are. There we go, me and Joe Cow enjoying ourselves here. You're a little bit more chilled now. You lost your head there on the Cardiff Met try a moment ago.
Yeah, I just think you don't really see many props running in from sort of 22 metres out. But yeah, I think it's a great lead up to it. You know, it's a bit of everything coming on before the start of that. And I think having that scrum, going through those phases, and then coming away with a try, I think Cardiff Met will be really happy with that. And yeah, if they can get through this now, take the pressure off themselves a little bit, and hopefully try and see the last 20 minutes out there.
Well, you say that, but in the blink of an eye, Cardiff right where they want to be in the 22. Yes, it's a Met put in, but applying that pressure, and well, both sides, to their credit, have come back again and again and again.
Yeah, they have, and like we said beforehand, this is a Cardiff Clash. Both teams are gunning to try and get a win, and both teams will go to the very end to try and get that win. And you can see the extent that the teams are going to, and yeah, what a spectacle it is.
Set! Hold! Keep it up, keep it up. Advantage, not driving straight.
Cardiff break, Cardiff scampering, slaloming, grappling their way to short of the line. Now the red and black hoops cluster around the breakdown. They sense Archer blood.
Back on the line, on the line.
Yeah, they've got a penalty advantage here as well, but I don't think they want to go back to it. Chucking it up through the forwards now. Just got to be patient and just try and get over the line here.
There's a knock on there. We're going to go back for the penalty advantage.
You've got to question what they're going to do here, whether they take the 3, take it to a 1-score game, 1-point game, sorry, or whether they go scrum again.
But you see there, Cardiff want it.
Other than the one up there. The other 2 are against you.
Yeah, you've got to lick your lips here. Both teams, to be honest. If you're Cardiff Met and you see Cardiff Uni wanting to go for the scrum, you've got to. It's almost like they think that you're weak and they want to try and test you. So, yeah, it'll be a massive scrum here, and hopefully, well, just see what happens here now.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Where do they go? Right or left?
Keep it square. Use it 8. Stay down.
Concrete foundations to launch a try-scoring attack. Davis arrives, continues to drift and almost runs out of room on the right edge. James Smith, fresh onto the field, looking to make an impact. Now it's the front row, but what a hit, what a drive. The Pistons pumping, and Cardiff lose some meters. Goldsworthy.
Yeah. Got to be spotless here. Keep coming with the big shots.
Met in the ascendancy. Now out the back door. James. Oh, it's miraculous!
What a finish. What hands that is as well.
What is the sorcery that we have just seen from Harrison James? At the home of the Welsh Wizards, one wave of Harrison James's wand, And he's unlocked the Met defence to hand Cardiff the lead once again.
Yeah, great piece of skill there by Harrison James. Fixing the winger on the outside and just a lovely little lift over and out the back door there. Let's see if he can get those 2 points now to really put the pressure on Cardiff Met to get a try here.
Having created the try, can James add the extras? Oh yes, he can!
Yeah, a massive kick there under pressure. Gives Cardiff Met the only way to get through now is by scoring a try. Obviously 3 points takes it to a draw, so Cardiff Met to be gunning now to try and get those 5 points. And what a great hands that is, and what a great finish as well.
Sam Plumer with the finish. All the focus was on Harrison James's hands. And Cardiff recapture the lead. Cardiff Met 21, Cardiff University 24.
Use it. Yeah, ball was out. Yeah.
15 thrilling minutes to go, and that is as good a box clearance as you'll see anywhere around the country.
Yeah, great exit there. It takes the pressure right off Cardiff Uni. Yeah, it's just what you want to see from your scrum half. Just getting that, having that foundation at the back of the ruck and just getting it long, giving Cardiff Uni a bit of pressure off themselves here. Cardiff Met play from inside their own half.
A little bit. No, he's stepped in, it's fine. Outside 15.
To the tail, the Archers go, and they look to batter their way through the midfield. That's good meters. The replacements beginning to make a difference. But the ferocity of the tackles unyielding from Ramsey and co in red and black. They sense not just a victory, they sense a famous scalp here in the most famous of Welsh grounds.
Stop yellow.
Mayer.
Got a bit of snow on that ball, I think.
Oh, the extra wisps of the ball make it a treacherous one to take. Now Met pour through. Desperate defence from Cardiff. Composure required from the men from Kincoid.
Got to go wide.
BUCS Mayer to Crimp. Has Carrington. The back door
Oh,
around.
he's in! Oh, what a play.
Have you ever seen a defence unlocked in such majestic fashion?
Oh, what a play that is, though. All come from BUCS Mayer's kick. So high, gets to put pressure on the full-back. Spills the ball, and then it's just a matter of trying to just get a bit of space, move the ball into that space, and what hands from Steph Crimp and George Merritt as well to put Josh Carrington in.
Joe Cal, how good's BUCS Super Rugby?
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? Anything can happen in this league. And it's just so exciting. You just see something come from absolutely nothing, and it came from a kick, and then you just see how quickly they can execute. Absolutely spot on. You see someone leaving the field there, Ben Murphy, absolutely outstanding tonight. Everything you could ask from a captain, led from the front, massive carries, massive shots in defence, and an unbelievable try in the second half, scoring under the sticks as well.
Oh, every point so precious right now. But Crimp splays it to the side of the upright, so we have a 2-point game as we take a look at this extraordinary try.
Yeah, a great kick again, like I said, from BUCS Mayer, and it's just about how quickly they can get into an attack from defence. You're not expecting to have that ball, but it's just a matter of how quickly can we get into shape, how quickly can they move the ball to the side, and you just see that lovely little pirouette from Steph Crimp, fix of the hands from George Merritt, and an unbelievable try by Josh Carrington as well.
Oh, balletic. Like a gymnast on the beam. Oh, and it's a knockdown, but only a knockdown. No yellow coming.
Okay, buddy. 10, yeah? 12.
Yeah, just special shout out to Connell Couch as well, and George Merritt. Unbelievable games from both of them as well, and yeah, rightfully have a little bit of a breather now to finish off the rest of the game.
Two points in it. 11 minutes and a bit of change.
I don't know either.
Hold on to your hats, everybody. Grandstand finish incoming at the Arms Park once more. Cardiff Met pressing for top 4. Cardiff craving a win. But all bets are off when the clash comes calling.
Both up early.
Do I get second chances?
If it happens exactly the same as that, I'd try. Both up at the same time.
And D. Rogers helpfully reminded me that, Joe, you're going to have to nominate a player of the match at some stage. So there's fair warning with 10 minutes or so on the clock. You can get thinking.
And you can call me out if I don't.
But I think we might leave that call for the last minute.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? Seems like it's going to go right down to the wire tonight.
Ollie Arnold throws true. Carrington arriving, but he got there with a bit of illegal help from his friends.
15 in front of kick.
Well, no, I beg your pardon. I thought it was an escort, but Carrington was in front of the kick. Officials working well together. It must be an interesting experience, actually. In Ben Whitehouse, a URC referee. No TMO here. It's a very pure form of the game, isn't it, BSR?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the things that happen in BSR as well have to come from the ARs as well. So it's a massive three-man work team as well. But you know, don't have that luxury of having TMO in this league, unfortunately.
Jamie Goldsworthy back from injury, puffing his way through. Oh, Ollie Sterling against the grain and on an angle that leads him to taste a few Cardiff Met shoulders, but into the 22. Cardiff sweep, now to the edge. Harrison James seeking out Plumer on a hat-trick. James hoovers up the crumbs.
Yeah, Cardiff Met have to be squeaky clean here as well. Obviously only up by 2 points, can't be given any way silly penalties.
Well, they've been clinical when they got into the 22, but they leave a man flying solo. Precise breakdown burglary from Cardiff Met. And a crucial penalty.
Yeah, brilliant penalty there. Obviously, like we said earlier, had to be squeaky clean, can't be giving any, away any silly penalties there. Obviously, Harrison James so lethal off the boot. But again, great penalty under pressure. Cardiff Met's defence has been pretty good tonight as well. So, yeah, great kick by Vikas as well. Tries to try and relieve a bit of pressure there and see what comes from this now.
A few front row replacements. Ollie Williams on wearing 17 at Loosehead, made his debut last year against Exeter. And Toby Peach, top try scorer in BUCS Super Rugby last year with 18 tries in at hooker.
Good access.
Yeah, great shift by the Loosehead as well. 71 minutes on the clock.
18.
Coming off. Great shift.
Well, we've lost that one in the floodlights, but mercifully for Cardiff, they haven't. James Smith gets his pocket picked. And it'll be a scrum to Cardiff. Lloyd McEwen-Peters, wearing 22, has just charged on. He's from a rugby league background, having donned the blue and yellow of Leeds Rhinos and Keighley Cougars. He's on the Scotland radar. He's been up there with the Exiles. He's just slotted in
7 to go.
at outside centre, I think. He's got Tommy the Boot Booth alongside him too.
Yeah. You're gonna give me time.
Wonderful position to launch here.
Shoulder out, nice and square to give him more space. Few subs on, so we'll sort it out.
Yeah, full front row changes for both teams now. Be interesting. The loose head for Cardiff Uni just coming onto the field, so be interesting to see how this scrum goes now.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold. Yeah, I can see the legs.
Nice one. Nice one.
Okay, two things. Please confirm what I can see over the top. Your legs are too far back, and your bind is like that. Okay, that's why it went down. Elbow up.
To me, you got to take your hat off to referees these days. You don't just need to be a professional referee. You need to be a scrum coach as well in some ways.
Yeah, you have to understand what's going on. There's so many little intricate things that happen in a scrum, and you've got to see both sides, which is obviously the benefit of having the ARs both sides as well. But yeah, it's a brilliant thing, a scrum.
Set. Keep it up. No.
Fanta Fenta to James, just lifts the ball to Plumer. Now to the left, now to the width, now to Sterling. Sterling with a bit of toe.
Great tackle. Great work by Gethin Cannon there.
Stop, Brent! 22!
Well, this is contestable. This is really interesting. It's batted back. Oh, it's batted forward. I beg your pardon. James Smith looked to have latched onto the ball that Jack Thomas had got a paw to. I don't think that was part of the master plan. It felt like a slice off the boot, but it almost worked for Uni, who have Cardiff Met in their sights. 2 points the game.
Yeah, and 5 minutes to go as well. You'll be thinking off this scrum whether or not BUCS is just going to try and turn the Cardiff Uni defence, try and turn the back three, or the two boys that are in the backfield here, and just try and play out of Cardiff Uni's half. You want to try and play as much ball in their half as possible, take the pressure off the defence here.
Set. Elbow, feet.
And Vikas Meyer swivels his hips. Oh! My goodness. Tommy Booth has lost his footing, but it was as a result of an expertly angled kick, full of power, full of guile. He raced across, but he couldn't drop the anchor quick enough. And that is all credit to the booming boot of Vikas Meyer.
Yeah, great kick there by BUCS. I'd like to see Met try and play a little bit here now. Just try and keep the ball for a little bit, run the clock down.
Away, Cardiff.
They've got away with one there, Cardiff Met. And they won't mind at all. They won't mind one bit. This is the part of the field they want to be playing in. Cut in half by Uni shoulders! But George McDonald, like a thief in the Cardiff night, steals away to break Archer hearts. Pandemonium amongst the Cardiff Uni Ranger faithful. The former Narbeth man, as slippery as an otter, races his way
There's just under 3.
potentially to a famous victory at the Cardiff Arms Park.
Yeah, it brings back memories of last year's Cardiff Clash at Christmas with Rory Morgan with that interception try late on into the second half, and yeah, great read by Cardiff Uni there, but yeah.
40. Yeah.
3 minutes left to play, and
I'll let you know,
a 5-point game if he gets the 2-puncher.
Harrison James makes no mistake. Cardiff lead by 5. The Archers need a converted try to win the game. And from our position, you could see it a mile off. George McDonald had read the play. A villain earlier in the match with a yellow card. Maybe, just maybe, the hero now with that try.
Yeah, great read and great finish as well. Having to run in from inside his own half, and yeah, you can expect a short kick here from BUCS. Or not.
Ollie Sterling, sound, under the ball, determined in his carry, consumed by Archers looking to make amends.
No, it is. Yes, it is. He picked it up.
Well, McDonald got himself into a bit of a pickle.
Picked the ball up and put it back down. So it's out.
Clear.
Just over a minute.
Clear comms from the referee saying he picked it up and put it back down.
Come on, boys. Just a little bit over. And again.
High drama that only BUCS Super Rugby knows how to deliver. The line-out malfunctions at the most desperate of times for Cardiff Met. An extra long caterpillar, the length of a Christmas cracker.
20.
And a pick and go from Cardiff.
Use it!
Archers need to be at their sticky-fingered best if they're
no, it's not.
to get their hands on the ball. Harrison James drops back into the pocket.
Yes!
Now it's a scrap on the floor. Who comes away with it? There'll be one more scrum. Utter drama. Unscriptable drama. Cardiff Uni up in arms, both on the field and on the bench. But the referee clear. Cardiff Met will have one final roll of the attacking dice.
Yeah, this is all or nothing here. You hear the referee say that this is the last play. All comes down to this scrum and see what Cardiff Met can muster from this. But again, you've got to get it as close as you can to the sticks if they do score, because otherwise we're looking at the draw, Burnsy.
We'll reset until we get the scrum on. We're not losing any time now, so we'll keep resetting. Yeah, I'm happy.
A penalty would be no good. Harry Rice is the man with the ball in his hands. The replacement scrum half, Vikas Mayer, has Chris Johnson stationed on his right shoulder. Josh Carrington
set
lurks behind with intent. Rice frees Johnson, who carries with menace. Rice to Hart. No mistakes from Cardiff Met.
Both teams squeaky clean here. Can't be giving away any silly penalties or any sort of knock-on or any sort of issues here.
Is there a sting in the tail from Cardiff Met? Cannon deployed. Back into the fog of war goes Ollie Smith. Mayer. Such a big frame, really asks questions of the Cardiff defence. But he has the ball burgled. The jackling jaws of Cardiff University clamp down on the ball one last time. and victory doesn't slip from their jaws. Cardiff University, for only the second time in their history, have claimed the Clash. They are the kings of Cardiff for Christmas. A night those Rangers will never forget, and one that will live long in the memory of all who were here and BUCS Super Rugby lovers around the country.
Yeah, absolute heartbreak for Cardiff Met, but absolute ecstasy for Cardiff Uni as well. The way it went, the way the whole game went, they never seemed to be just shy of there or thereabouts, you know, going 2 tries up in the first half and always managing to stay in the game, and fair play on a very good win, hard-fought win there.
And quite rightly, our cameras focusing in on the Cardiff players. This is a victory of such importance, such meaning. Their sole victory 49 days ago against Leeds Beckett. They've had to wait a long time, but now they have the victory they craved the most. Triumph over arch rivals Cardiff Met at the Clash. And Joe Cal, we've got to pick a player of the match.
Yeah, special mentions go out to Steph Crimp, who I thought was brilliant tonight. He was everywhere. Gethin Cannon got through a whole heap of work, you know, full 80 for the man. But yeah, I think all in all, Cardiff Uni's got to go to the number 10, Harrison James. He scored a try and off the touchline, he scored an absolute perler of a conversion. And I think as a 10, you know, the way that he sort of managed the game always seemed to keep Cardiff Uni there or thereabouts in the game as well. And yeah, I think the man of the match goes to the number 10, Harrison James.
What a night to be at the Cardiff Arms Park. I know you'll be feeling gutted, Joe Cal, but let's relive some of the thrilling action from that match. One that's delivered a bonus point in try scoring to both universities, but it is Cardiff who are leaving with the spoils, and it's in no small part to the fast start that they made.
Yeah, brilliant. You know, we covered it just a half time, but they came out with a game plan, and I think they executed it pretty well. And you know, you see going up 2 scores early on, that try there, great try there by Ramsey. I just started the roll really. You know, going 7-0 up to 14-0 up, they kind of felt like they had control of the game. You see from this scrum here, what you thought was a bit of a push on from Cardiff Met, turned the scrum towards the blind side. And then the 9, George McDonald, who played a very big part in that Cardiff Uni win, going down the blind side and putting Plummer away in the corner for a good finish.
So that was Cardiff into that 14-point lead, but you don't get away from the Archers that easily. And they built nicely throughout the game, and you felt this was coming, it was inevitable. Again, the captain Murphy leading the charge, and pure power there, and a momentum shift beginning to feel around the stadium.
Yeah, definitely, and I think going from 14-0 down to 14-7, started to feel like they had a bit more involvement in the game, and then this try then by Josh Carrington, you know, going through the forwards and then playing it into him as well.
And this Cardiff Met try was simply exquisite.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, or have it been Cardiff Met win the game, I think it could only have gone to one man, to be honest. Ben Murphy, absolutely unbelievable tonight, and I think, although the score's not in Cardiff Met's favour, you can certainly leave the field knowing he gave absolutely everything tonight for the Archers. Tackling so hard, carrying, scrums, and obviously that brilliant try as well. But what from the man of the match himself, what a great piece of skill that is to put away the winger in the corner. And then again, obviously that conversion from the touchline to put Cardiff ahead by the 3 points to force Cardiff Met the only option but to score.
I mean, the quality and the action kept on coming. It came from an error from Plumer. That up and under from Mayer coming down with Snow on it. But the speed with which Met transition and capitalise, and the interplay forwards and backs.
Yeah, the transition that they had there was superb. Again, great pirouette by Steph Crimp. Great draw of the hands by George Met to put Carrington in away for his second. But again, you see that pass by Vickers Mayer missing that one man, which you thought was the one. Tried to do it again in that last try, and yeah, obviously.
Well, the moment you're talking about came from this extraordinary kick on a very sort of narrow angle against the grain, and you thought, wow, that's big for Cardiff Met. But
yeah, you definitely thought that was a momentum shifter, which you've seen going into sort of the last 5 minutes. But that pass, it's on to go, but you think 4 minutes left on the clock, you're inside the half, just keep the ball, just keep playing, force a penalty, try and keep the ball for those minutes, run the clock down. But like, they run the clock down too much in the sense that there was no real way out of that loss, to be honest. But again, what a great game. Had a bit of everything in that game, I think, and definitely a Christmas clash to remember.
A BUCS Super Wednesday to remember here at the Arms Park. We're going to be back in Wales at the turn of the year. 22nd of January, is that how long we have to wait? We'll be at St Helens, where Hartbury will be along to take on Swansea. And after that, on the 5th of February, it'll be Exeter hosting Bath. That is going to be a barnstormer of a match down in Devon. So plenty to look forward to over the festive break, although I have to say 22nd of January feels an awfully long way away when we've just been treated to a match like that, and a bit of history too for this group of Cardiff University players who to this point in the season only had one win. Well, they've got one win that will live with them throughout the rest of their university careers. Joe, last words from you.
Yeah, just obviously an amazing game, absolute thriller, to be honest, and I think both teams fired shots, and yeah, just fair play to Cardiff for coming out and getting the win.
Well, Joe, you've been excellent company. You are welcome back anytime, but it's time to throw down to Dave, who I believe is with the happiest man in Cardiff.
And I think you're allowed to after that. That's a special night and a special performance by your boys.
They were unbelievable tonight. Like I said, the season hasn't been going too good for us at the moment. But these Cardiff clashes, these games down the Arms Park, and you've seen them all before as well, and they can change momentum. And tonight, it means everything. Taking 5 points from our arch rivals just before the Christmas break is pretty special, and they deserve everything they get. They deserve everything they get. Well, before we go into the nitty-gritty of the game, what is it about tonight? Why is it different? Why is it special? Why have they been able to elevate that performance, and how do you sort of put that lightning in a bottle and capture it for the rest of the season? Yeah, I think first of all, it's BUCS Super Rugby. Anything can happen, and it's such a tremendous league. Anyone can beat anyone, I think, on the day. And then when you put like two teams like Cardiff Met and Cardiff University together for that hallmark event, and there should be more games like this somehow, somewhere. And yeah, it's pretty special. Like I said, they've got all their peers there. You can look over all the rugby clubs there. Same with the Met as well. It's a special occasion. And but how do you bottle it? That's the challenge. How do we do that? I'll buy a bottle of it if I could. But yeah, that's the challenge. Let's talk about the game itself then. You're 14-0 up. Everything's great. You're 2 scores up, then you're 2 men down, then you lose the lead. Then they bring on BUCS Mayer, an international fly half who changes the game with his boot, and then an interception try. You hang in there. The character as well as the quality. That's the lightning, isn't it? I think you summed it up perfectly there. I don't think I need to answer that question. Like the character of those players, of Cardiff University players, was unbelievable tonight. And they've been the same all year, if I'm totally honest with you. They never go on the pitch and they never lack effort or character. But tonight, like I said, is extra special. But yeah, roller coaster, right? 2 sin bins that happened to us last week as well against Bath, and it was a repeat performance, and we were thinking, oh, well, this could go wrong very quickly. But as you said, character pulled us through, and we were able to. Well, George Mark was a sin bin 1 minute, and then he scored an interception try at the end. So perfect.
What about that winning moment?
It's just their faces, you know. Yeah, you make me emotional again. It's just special. I just can't put it into words right now, but I'm elated for them. Like so much hard work's gone into this first block, and for them to get this win now is special.
Harrison James, he's the man of the match. He'll appear from. Is he coming here? Go on, come in here, because I think your coach is about to say some nice things about you. Could have gone to any number of your players tonight, but it was given to this man. What did you like about his performance, and what does he give this team?
Harrison is, well, first and foremost, a leader in his own right. He's an orchestrator. He's able to pull our team up and down the field with his kicking boot, and then when he gets into the 22 as well, he's able to pull some strings to formulate our attack. He's absolute. What I like about Harrison, he's absolutely put everything into one performance tonight. I think he's shown exactly what he's capable of doing to push on and push forward in his career as well. Extra special try, like he's set up in the far corner then, and I turned around to the other coach. I said, I guarantee you he'll convert that because he set up the try. So, and he did as well. So, like I said, he's got a great boot on him. He's a great player, and he deserves his man of the match award tonight.
Stats padder, typical. Have you got him a Christmas present?
I haven't, but I'm going to get him one now.
Hey, enjoy it, and congratulations. Have a moment to yourself and enjoy tonight. You're a man who is going to enjoy tonight. You've got a huge smile on your face. I'm not surprised. Look, we're here at the Arms Park. You've played a lot of rugby here in a lot of different jerseys, but you've won the biggest game of the season so far for Cardiff University tonight, and you've played an integral part. It must feel pretty special.
Oh yeah, it feels great. We've had a tough start of the season. It's been like a real slog, but we've shown like times in each game where we can really show what we can do. But now, like, we put it all together, and it was a real full performance. Although we still had times where we fell off a little bit, but at the same time, the way we pushed through it, we haven't pushed through it in other games, and we have today. So it's brilliant from the boys, really.
Did you always believe? Because you were 2 scores up, but then you were 2 men down, as I just said to Swank, and you went behind, and they seemed to turn the game when they brought on BUCS Mayer, and his boot was causing you all kind of problems. Was there any moment where there was a little bit of doubt, or did you always think you had what it takes?
Look, in the back of your head, you're always like, well, they're on top, because Vickers come on, fair to him, he's a good player. And but look, we rode through the 10 minutes without the 2 players. But look, when we got through that period, we thought, right, we score some tries now, which we did, and then we got back on top. Obviously, they had some points with the kick to corner there where they scored, and look, it can go either way in that situation, and the boys really dug deep, and we got the win in the end, so it's good.
Well, there were a few special moments for you. One of them were actually stood in the spot where you were in the pocket, and we thought you were going to knock the drop goal over just before half-time, but then you decided to go on a little Marcus Smith errand. You had some moments like that tonight, that you always looked like you were in control. Did you feel in control?
Look, we haven't had the most dominant performances with physicality-wise, but I really felt that the boys stepped up to it, which gave us that front foot play. So it allowed us to do what we wanted to do more than other games. Like in other games, we've scored 4 tries in most of them, and we've had when we have got the physical battle, we've played and we scored. But tonight we had it a lot, so we were able to pull strings and be able to be on the front foot a lot more than we were.
Right, that's it now for 2024. We look forward to 2025. You've got a few weeks off, so let's park rugby. What happens tonight?
I can't say about that, can I?
Well, whatever it is, enjoy it. Congratulations, you're the man of the match. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, a very happy man of the match, and deservedly so. And that is it. The curtain is down on BUCS Super Rugby in 2024, and what a 2024 it's been. We are off to the clubhouse, and whatever clubhouse you'll spend in the festive season in, I hope it's warm, I hope it's brilliant, I hope it's full of people you love, and I hope you're back in 2025 to join this adventure with us. All roads lead to Rodney. We'll see you then. Goodbye. Great show, mate. It's a good show. This doing it live.